I'll kind of go through what we found. And I guess what I'd really like to stress is how close this was, and how dangerous this was. A lot of times when we deal with these things, what happens is someone is very, very motivated, but they are not sophisticated enough to create something that is super effective. This gentleman was sophisticated. He was intelligent. And it is simply luck that we didn't have a much larger blast. The total explosive weight inside of the car was north of 30 pounds. And we believe that the explosions actually used up about 4 to 5 pounds of that. So had those correct situations occurred, that explosion would have been fivefold of what it was. In addition, our public safety folks, the firefighters went in there and they did what firefighters do, and everything's in a vacuum. Everything we know now, we knew nothing. So the firefighters began to pull the propane tanks out, and one of the firefighters opened up a door, and a partially detonated pipe bomb fell at his feet. And so it is just luck sometimes, and what we had that kept some of these folks from getting hurt or a much bigger tragedy is simply luck. What we found inside the car were, as Commander Crooker said, about 5 to 6 partially detonated or fully detonated IEDs. These were generally steel pipe bombs filled with smokeless powder, which is very common. We recovered 2 or 3 live devices from the scene that were in different stages of detonating. And these things, bombs want to explode. And so it's incumbent on us to be wildly careful with those things. We took them out to a separate location, and when we began to RSP one of them, it low order exploded and started a fire. And so this is just, we were very close. I just think it's important to recognize how close this was to a real tragedy and how lucky we are that it wasn't. There was about 25 pounds of, as Commander Crooker said, we call it a binary explosive. People use it, they mix these two things together, and then they shoot them. A lot of times they're rifle sensitive. Had that gone off, that's a very, very large explosion. We took that out this morning. And just to be clear, we have been working since 3 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and we are still working. The FBI was out at these locations yesterday, tracking and getting like video of him buying these things, just so we could, whoops, I'm sorry, move my hands too much, but just so we could be sure that it was just him. And honestly, if we thought it was anything but him, I wouldn't be here talking to you. We'd be looking for people. So I just want people to understand that also.